Welcome to Chamundi Hills. This most beautiful, scenic, and serene hills gets its name from the goddess Chamundeshwari, whose temple is located atop this very same hill. Did you know that Mysuru gets its name from the goddess Chamundeshwari, who is also popularly known as Mahishasura Mardhini? The legend has it the demon Mahishasura, who wreaked havoc on earth, was almost invincible, and to kill him, the goddess Durga manifested as the goddess Chamundeshwari and slayed Mahishasura, who then popularly came to be known as Mahishasura Mardini, meaning the one who killed Mahishasura. And that is how Mahisuru became Mysuru.
Now, this Chamundi Hills has got a very historical significance, not only because of the temple, but this whole dynasty that we are trying to trace, which is the Vodaya dynasty, started its root here. Yaduraya and Krishnaraya were two princes who were living in Dwarka, which is the current day Gujarat. And Yaduraya had a series of dreams. He had these kind of series of dreams that he was not able to understand. For a while he ignored it, and but the dreams did not stop coming to him. So periodically the dreams kept on repeating, and there was a point, or he reached a breaking point where he could not ignore these dreams anymore. And he also believed that these dreams tried conveying to him a significant message that he was still not able to comprehend. So what he was getting in his dreams were like these beautiful hills that you're seeing behind me. I mean, let me just pan the camera across. So yeah, he was getting these beautiful hills in his dreams, and there was a deity, there was a female voice that he heard which kept on calling him to come to this very place. He did not know who the deity was. He did not even know which place is this. I mean, he did not know this was Chamundi Hills or it was a Chamundeshwari Devi who was coming in his dreams. However, after a period of time, after when he could not ignore his dreams anymore, he started his journey. Before that, when he told his father, who is Rajadeva, that he is getting this series of dreams and he has to start his journey in search of his dreams, Rajadeva quite did not like it. He was thinking that his son has gone mad, that he wants to go to some place that he doesn't even know where it is. So he called for the royal physician, and once the royal physician came, they examined Yaduraya completely, and they gave him a certificate that he is physically and mentally fine. And after this, the physician actually convinced Rajadeva, who is Yaduraya's father, there are certain things in life which is beyond medical comprehension, which is beyond human comprehension. Sometimes it just makes in life to follow the path or to follow our dreams, and Rajadeva should not become an obstacle in his life journey. In fact, he should support him. Now, after getting this convincing answer from the royal physician, Rajadeva considered to let go of his son. Yaduraya and his brother Krishnaraya both started their journey. They kept on getting a lot of signals in their journey to reach this spot. Finally, after a long journey, they came to Chamundi Hills. Here, he just sat. Both Yaduraya and Krishnaraya both sat down, not knowing what to do. They also had a lot of doubt in their mind. Yaduraya especially, he had fought with his parents to reach this very place. Now he doesn't know what to do, and he doesn't have any guidance. So he just closed his eyes and prayed to the same divine goddess who had guided him all this way. So while he just closed his eyes and started the prayer to the goddess to help him in his journey, he saw a monk passing by, and the monk noticed Yaduraya and Krishnaraya. They looked like foreigners, and the monk came closer to Yaduraya and asked him about his whereabouts. Yaduraya narrated this entire story of how he started getting these dreams and how he actually ignored it for a while, and how these dreams did not allow him to ignore it anymore. And finally, after fighting with his parents, he started this journey. After listening to this, surprisingly, the monk overcame with joy. The monk really felt very happy, and Yaduraya did not understand this. Yaduraya cluelessly asked him that, why are you so happy? Previously, Chamaraja from the Bhoja dynasty came to Mysore, and he was living here. as a king, and one day due to some illness he passed away, and he passed away without having a male heir. Those days it was very important for a king to have a male heir so that he could carry forward the kingdom, and in the absence of a male heir it was like an open invitation for anybody to usurp the kingdom. So at this point, his chieftain called Maranyaka, who was loyal to Chamaraja until then, he became a villain all of a sudden. He did not just plan to usurp the entire kingdom, but he also planned to marry his beautiful daughter Chikkadevarasi, and he was forcing Chikkadevarasi to say yes to him in a marriage. Now the queen, who just lost her husband, who also lost the kingdom, was in immense turmoil because her dear daughter Chikkadevarasi was also at stake due to Maranyaka. In so much of agony, she just locked herself in the puja room and prayed to Lord Sri Hari to help her from this difficult circumstances. And apparently she prayed with so much of devotion and love to the God sent her an instant message saying, there will be two foreigners who will come to rescue you from your situation. Just be in lookout for them. After he heard this message from the God, she was so happy. She was so rejoiced, but she did not know how she can step out from the palace and look out for these two foreigners. She entrusted this entire search to a monk. Somehow she sneakily managed to send some weapons to the monk and told the monk that please be on a lookout for these two foreigners, and once you find them, give them these weapons and tell them to come and defeat Maranyaka and save us from this dire situation. So the monk took the weapons from her and went out looking for those two foreigners. And where did the monk find these foreigners? So there were Yaduraya and Krishnaraya standing there, who were absolutely the foreigners that the monk was looking for. And once the monk found both of them, he narrated to them the entire story, and he told them that your job is to go and kill Maranyaka. So that is where Yaduraya and Krishnaraya both came to Mysore and fought a battle with Maranyaka and finally defeated Maranyaka. And in 1399 AD, Chikkadevarasi married Yaduraya, thus laying the foundation for the Wadayar dynasty. Yaduraya and Krishnaraya also came from Dwarka, and they belong to actually Luna dynasty or the Yadu dynasty of Lord Krishna from the Hindu pantheon. And they started their Yadu Vansha here, which is actually called as the Wadayar family today. So that is how Chamundeshwari, the deity of this place, became the family deity, because Yaduraya firmly believed that because of this deity, goddess Chamundeshwari, that he was able to travel all the way from Gujarat to Mysuru. And even till date, Chamundeshwari is the family deity of Wadayar dynasty. What you're seeing behind me, let me just kind of pan the camera so that you get to know. So what you're seeing behind me is the residential wing of Mysore Palace. It's the old palace that is still kept intact, and only a part of it is allowed for the public to see. A major portion of it is still kept under the Mysore royal family.